right, so there's one game I just want to quick go over that I've been playing for the past week. I'm playing this for review purposes. I do get a review code for it, but I'm struggling to comprehend how I would ever go about reviewing it, to be honest. So I may end up never reviewing it and just writing a I can't score this because it's just something. The game is Ancestors Humankind Odyssey. It was revealed at the Game Awards last year. Yeah. It released last week on PC. It is coming out on consoles in December. It's an Epic Games Store exclusive. Woo! Which I remember when they revealed at the Game Awards, we were all like,
cool monkeys.
What the fuck is this game?
We were like, what the fuck is going on? Is this like the Assassin's Creed Adam and Eve story, but before it? And what the fuck?
Yeah, because when they showed the trailer, it was just monkeys and talking about evolution and all this stuff.
This is creationism, the game.
It's like, what the fuck is this game? And to be honest, here's the thing.
Evolution, the game.
It's really hard to explain who the fuck this game is for and who would enjoy playing this. Because I gotta be honest, I hated my first 2 hours. I hated it. If I didn't get sent a review code, I probably would have just stopped playing like an hour in because it was just doing my fucking head in. I pushed through it because I'm like, well, I gotta, I'm obligated to see how I can go a bit further. I'm now at the point around, I don't know, 8 hours in, I guess, or something like that, where I'm not hating it and I'm actually somewhat enjoying it, but still it's a hard fucking game to play. And the reason I'm saying it's hard is because nothing to do with like difficulty of boss fights or anything like that. The game is just the most obtuse thing I've ever played in my life. And I'll put an asterisk on that and say I don't play many survival games, right? Which this is kind of, but at the same time, I feel like this is worse than even the ones I have played. So basically the game starts and you're a monkey, right? And there's a monkey kid and you get introduced. It's like there's monkeys, there's female monkeys, there's male monkeys, there's baby monkeys. Basically the goal of the game is to discover things, learn things, and then travel through X amounts of hundreds of thousands of years or whatever it is, to the point where your monkeys are becoming closer to being humans, right? That's how it works. So you can investigate objects and whatever else, and how it moves through time is eventually, once you've done enough stuff, you can like kind of trigger an event where it'll move through periods of time and years, depending on like how much stuff you've managed to achieve and these sorts of things. So you could go 5,000 years, 10,000 years. It's really kind of dependent on that. And then you'll take up like the ancestors of the people you're currently playing as. And depending on what you've learnt before you trigger the event to move through time, depends on what those monkeys know, because obviously that's what goes through. So it's kind of the thing of like, you're better off doing more before triggering this than less, because that means when you get to the next section of the game, you're going to have more stuff to do. But the game tells you literally nothing.
Because it'll be trying to emulate the experience of evolution, of learning shit naturally.
Yes, 100%. And the stuff you start working out at the start of the game is just the most simplistic shit. You pick up a rock, you press a button to like investigate it. It'll be like, oh, and it'll give, come up like, oh, you've learnt that this is a rock. You're like, cool. You go find a stick. You pick up the stick. Oh, this is a stick. That's fucking interesting. Cool. You've learnt what a stick is. Suddenly, if you start picking up enough objects, the game will pop up and be like, you've learnt how to use 2 hands now. Well, that's a fucking handy skill. So now you can pick up one item and press a button to swap it to your other hand. And then you can pick up the rock and the stick. And then, lo and behold, if you press buttons together, you can start carving that stick and you got yourself a fucking spear slowly, right? Oh, you've discovered that this will sharpen stick. You find food you need to eat. If you don't eat and drink and sleep, you will die.
Do you stab somebody first time and you're like, oh my God,
I haven't figured out
discovered murder?
No, I haven't figured out how to stab anyone, right? And I'll get to this in a second because this is one of my biggest complaints with the game. But the other thing is that you need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to drink water, right? So that's the survival element. It's not super hardcore, but it's like basically every time you wake up for the day, you kind of get in the rhythm of being like, I'll go drink, I'll go eat. I should be set until like near the end of the day, and I'll probably eat, drink before I go to sleep, and then I'll sleep for the amount of time I need, depending on how much time I've spent walking today. fucking make sure my monkeys don't die. I nearly lost all my monkeys within the first couple hours because I had no idea what I was doing. But then I discovered sex, and then I knocked out some babies pretty fast.
Can I have to ask, how did you discover sex?
So I was like, there has to be, obviously I'm like, there has to be a way to make babies in this game. There has to be a thing, right? So I can walk up to a female monkey, and I'm playing as a male.
You went, how you doing?
I walked up and I said,
You
like,
gave her the old thumbs up. You were like,
it's like held down B and it's like groom or whatever.
He texted you up.
No, you do a grooming mini game, and if you do it successful 4 times in a row, it comes up and it goes coupled. And then I literally just walk over to the bed I'd set up. I said, come with me, because you can group up with any monkeys and like take them with you on adventures or whatever. So I said, hey, come with me, go over to the bed. I lay down in the bed, and then it come up with a button that said press B to invite partner over. Hey, so I hold down B, invite my partner over. And then they lay down next to me, and then the B button then changes to, I don't know what it actually says, but it says sex. Like in some word it says, I think it says make babies.
Procreate.
I think it says make babies actually, or something like that. So then I press that button, the camera like pans up to the sky, comes back down, like it doesn't show you to or anything, and then the button now's changed to have baby.
Wow, that quick.
So I hold down B again, and it then cuts to a cutscene and shows this monkey being born and stuff. And then it says 15 months later. So it skips you ahead 15 months to get through the pregnancy plus making the monkey old enough. So then you go through a large section of time. And I figured out that if you pause the game, it actually tells you the monkey you're playing as. If you're playing as a female, it'll tell you if they're actually in their time. Wow, what the fuck is the word for it? They're
in heat?
No. Their eggs are good to go. Fertile, yes, thank you. Fertile is the word. Thank you. I was fucking mental blanking. It'll say like fertile. So I paused the game after this happened. It still said fertile. I was like, fuck, I just popped one out, but sure, let's go again. So hold down B, come over here, hold down B.
15 months.
Yeah, hold down B, make sex times again, hold down B, make baby again. I popped out 2 babies within 5 minutes of gameplay, but over the period of 30 months. In the game. So yeah, I was like, cool, now I got kids. And you need kids because that's basically how you get XP. Like because
you eat them for
XP?
No.
Or so do you when you go around, there's a button, obviously like kind of an Assassin's Creed-y eagle vision type shit, right? So you can activate that, and then you can look at objects and you can scan it, and the monkey will be like, oh, that's food. That's an enemy. That's this, right? So you start recognizing things. And basically, they'll kind of unlock skills if you do certain things enough. Even walking enough, suddenly your monkey starts to learn how to walk on its 2 legs instead of its front kind of thing. Like the more you do of anything, the slowly you just start opening up skills.
Getting better at it.
Getting better. That's the whole game. It's just like, just do shit and eventually you'll start unlocking things. But you need to always have babies with you, and that's how you get XP to actually unlock those things, because it's kind of like because you can have them on your back constantly wherever you go, and you get XP for having them. I guess it's kind of been like you're teaching them as you show them around and these sorts of things.
You're passing them on this knowledge for the future.
Yes.
And
so if you don't have babies around, you're basically wasting your time playing, which is what I did for a solid like 2 hours nearly, because I didn't know how to have sexy time, and then figured it out. I got babies now, so we're good to go. My biggest thing though is because obviously with a game like this, a lot of time you're just like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, there is no objective. There's nothing to do. The whole game is literally just like, find shit, figure it out on yourself, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, the game is just constantly wanting you to hate life. And I'm sure this is once again trying to be realistic to how it was back then, and they introduced this with the opening cinematic cutscene for the game, because the game opens and it shows like an alligator and a ward, or fishes, and it shows like the fish get eaten by alligator, and it shows the alligator get killed by something, tiger, and then it shows the tiger gets killed by like a giant snake, and then the snake gets picked up by like a giant bird or something along these lines. So showing you how like dangerous the world is, and you're playing as the kind of bottom line here, where everything in this game can kill you. Side note on this, if you hate snakes, and I pretty much fucking hate snakes, and this game is a struggle to play, because I'll be fucking walking along sometimes, like climbing trees and shit, and then I'll just hear like like off the distance, and every time I'm still just like, oh no.
I was about to ask you how many like fuck that moments have you like walked up to something.
I've literally like jumped across trees before, and the snakes are like, they're big, you know. They're not anaconda ice cube big, but they're big because I guess prehistoric like kind of era of snakes. They're a lot bigger, and I learned how to swing across vines kind of a little bit. So I was swinging across. I jump in this tree, and I look down. I see this giant fucking thing, and I'm just like, oh, nope. The game also constantly gives you heart attacks. And this is the thing. It's like it's super annoying to the point where I'm like, can we not just start the game with less things trying to kill me? Because pretty much anytime you venture outside of your like kind of, you have a camp area, I guess, where you can set up and all your other apes of your clan hang out. Anytime you venture outside of there and you're walking along the ground and you're not in trees for a hot 2 seconds, next second, tiger, saber-tooth, fucking Black Panther, everything, right? Snake, giant, fuck off, disgusting, makes me, snake, everything, literally just trying to kill you. So that's annoying, and that's tedious, and that basically fucks you over. And if you don't escape from them, if they don't kill you, of course, if they come out of nowhere, they hit you. Next second, you've got a broken leg or something like that, or you're bleeding out. So then you need to discover the fucking thing. The first time this happened to me, you know, it comes up with a symbol, like a bleeding symbol, and my character, my ape, is all fucked up. It's like literally bleeding. I'm like, okay, maybe if I eat, it'll help me. So I find fruit. I start eating it. As he's eating, the monkey's just like coughing blood over the food. I'm like, well, that ain't helping. So then it's,
you know what? I'm actually kind of I'm interested by this. Like I'm intrigued to play it. Like I'm actually.
Yeah, I want to see monkeys coughing up blood.
Like I know, but like it'd be interesting to see the thought process of like to have a conversation and be like, so what the fuck did you work out first?
What?
Like what did, and then to be like,
well we've
my
got a leg
monkeys
up,
know.
so.
My monkeys know this, and you'll be like, "What the fuck? What? I've never learned that." Or I'm, you know,
this game is 100% is going to be for a very niche audience, but that very niche audience is going to be going constantly crazy on Reddit talking about stuff they're doing.
Yeah, it would be like somebody like in 6 months' time would be like, "I've just found out you can do this." What the F?
See, I don't know if there's
create AR-15s.
Also,
I don't know if there's an ending.
How long until we get like speed running of it? Where it's like get from this point to this point as quick as
that's
you
the thing.
I mean, well, the secret is to keep making babies, and time just goes much faster.
So, from what I gathered, that when you do the time skip, like they call it evolution in the game, which currently where I'm up to, I could do again.
Call it evolution in most
yeah,
things
I guess
in life
that's,
except the Bible.
I'm currently could do it, but I'm not doing it yet because I just want to double check there's some other stuff I can't do. When you do that, from what I gather, the next encampment that you start in is randomized from a bunch of different areas, kind of. So it's not like you move from the starter area to this area or whatever. It literally kind of just like randomizes and goes, well, your ancestors ended up here.
Is there any restrictions of like pre-evolution? Like, is there like stuff in the game that you can't learn until after you evolve?
I think so. I think there's I think there is a point where you're like, I've done literally everything I can do for this, and you should probably just evolve now so you can start learning some stuff. But I haven't hit that, and I would probably never hit that because I eventually would just be like, well, fuck it, I'm go to the next stage.
I'm ready enough.
Yeah.
I'll evolve.
It's the most annoying thing though, like, because I lost like 5 apes at one point, and I barely had anyone left because I'm wandering around. I'm like, how do I build spears? How do I fucking heal myself? And that's the thing, because the game tells you nothing. It's like, well, how do I heal my bleeding? And you have to just discover like what fruit, what item to look at to heal that. And now if something attacks me and I'm bleeding, I know what I'm looking for, and I can probably find it within 30 seconds to a minute and solve the problem because I've been playing the game, right? But at the start, the first couple hours, this is why it made me not want to play it. It's just because it's like, you're bleeding out, you're fucking poisoned because you ate mushrooms and they made you give you a bellyache, and it's just like you're having this like weird toxic effect on the screen and you're dying and whatever else. You're just like, fuck this game, man. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, give me a fucking helping hand here. But I know, like, in the trailers and stuff, they'll show you can eventually like teach your whole clan of apes to the point where they all know how to use spears, and you can like pretty much go on a hunting party after animals. I kind of want to play till at least I get to that stage where I've got smart enough that I can go get revenge on the fucking snake that killed me, the fucking tiger that killed me, the Black Panther that killed me when I thought, hey, Black Panther won't come in the water. It jumped on a rock and got me, motherfucker. Like, Jesus Christ.
It jumped on a rock and got me.
The one time I discovered that this game has a stamina meter, which it doesn't fucking tell you like everything else. And I was trying to just climb up a tree, and then my monkey fell down to its death, and I was like, "What the fuck? Just hold on longer." Oh, there's a stamina meter, right? Yeah. Don't tell me that either. Just don't tell me literally anything.
That's how they started off. They didn't know anything.
It would make sense to realize, there's only a limited amount of energy I have to do shit with.
I still focus on being like, why? How do I get away from this thing? Next time I'm following. Yeah. It's like, I don't know if you could reach like a point where you get game over, but there's no way to do manual saves, which kind of annoys me because there are like difficulty options, and I pick the easiest because I'm like, I'm not putting on anything harder. This will be enough for me as is, right? I have no idea what is easier about the version I'm playing. You know? So
maybe you'll take like more damage, or you have longer periods of time before you need to eat
and stuff
less
like that.
animals.
Yeah, stuff like that would probably. But even then, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I walk outside for 2 seconds, something's jumping on me and trying to fucking kill me. So I don't know what's going on there. But I would have loved manual saves, even in like the easier difficulty, because the amount of times I'm like, because I can build spears at the moment, but I don't want to risk trying to go and fight something. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I wish I could manual save it, try and work out how to go about it.
But that's what it's trying to. It's trying to take that out of you. It's trying to take that out of you and put you in a situation where you're like, if you want to, you have to risk something to go and learn to do something. Like you have to,
like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Like you have to risk it to go learn it and then figure it out as you go. Like at the start of the game, you would have just saved it at the very start.
Oh, I was scared.
Spent a couple of hours.
I was scared to go anywhere.
And which is you're supposed to be. That's how fucking evolution works, Dylan. Fuck, you don't think there's little monkeys out there in the world after fucking dinosaurs have dead, and some random fucking person flies out of the sky with a manual like, here you go, here's how you do
pretty
everything.
much my first few nights, like within the games world, was anytime, because it has like a game timer up top, like tells you what time of day it is. Obviously monkeys can't read time, but it helps you know when it's going to get dark and stuff, obviously.
Yes.
They're nice in that way. It would get to like 17:00 and I'm like, I'm fucking heading back. You know?
Well, if you think right,
never venture too far.
If you think, it's not on the same scale, but the first time you play Minecraft, if you didn't play Minecraft with a friend, you have to work out, all right, I can punch wood to cut it down, and then I have to put it into a toolbox.
I guess, but Minecraft these days has a tutorial and everything, so it's like
these days. But I'm talking about when you these days. I'm talking about like original Minecraft when
OG.
You didn't realize that you had to build a shelter before it got to nighttime on the first night, or you were probably dead.
So when I did my first evolutionary jump, because when you start the game, it has a bed built for you where you can sleep. Because it does tell you like 3 things. You can sleep on this. You can use this button to pick up things. You can use this button to investigate. Go wild. Cool. Thanks, game. When I did my first evolutionary jump, it didn't have a bed in my area, and I was like, oh no, I have to figure out how and what I do to build a bed.
To figure out how to make a bed.
I couldn't sleep. My character's literally limping. My monkey's like limping around. Its energy bar's constantly at like near nothing because it's just so tired it can't sleep. I'm like, dude, I wish I could let you rest, but I don't know how to fucking sleep.
It doesn't know how to crawl up on the ground and sleep. It needs a bed. Wow, first world problems for that monkey.
No, so I discovered if you're on the ground, you need beds built to sleep, or you can just go climb a tree and literally sleep anywhere in a tree. And I was like, fuck, if I knew that, I would have done that.
All the spoilers.
I don't know if you can spoil this game, to be honest, but I'm going to keep playing because I've overcome the point of hatred where I'm now like, I don't know. It's weird to say I'm enjoying it, but I'm just at the same. I'm constantly intrigued, and it's got enough to constantly like keep pulling me along where I keep discovering a new thing or like getting a little bit better at something, and like, you know, I'm like, oh, I'll keep going and go over here.
Wow, it's only like what? So it's $40 US. So that's like what, 60?
Yeah, it's not a full price game.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to be like, if you like this, you'll like this game, because I honestly don't know. But at the same time, I'm
super intrigued by it. Like I'm interested by it. I think that's very interesting.
It's hard to fault how unique of a premise and everything it is, but I just don't know if it's going to, like, there's a certain point of being like, well, you know, this is your first new indie company. Do you want your fucking first game to be something that only 10 people play? Like, it's so hard and like such a learning curve and stuff to overcome.
Well, I'm sure thanks to the Epic Game Store, they don't have to worry about money.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe that's a fucking thing. But yeah, that's Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey. A very weird game.